like to welcome our speaker, Deepika Vaishnave. And Deepika is Associate Test Architect at Pratham Software. And she would be delivering an interactive talk session on Beyond Testing, Unifying Synthetic Monitoring, Real User Metrics, and AI for Smart QA with Datadog. So, to know more about Deepika, you can go through the below link. So, Deepika, over to you. Thank you.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So, the introduction has already been given. I am Deepika, Associate Test Architect at PSI. Today, I'm going to talk about my favorite topic beyond testing, how we can unify synthetic monitoring, real user metrics, and AI to build smart QA using Cypress and Datadog. So, over last few years, I've been living in two worlds at the same time: classic test automation with Cypress and observe with Datadog. What I'm going to show you is how we stitched those two worlds together so test stop just being pass and fail and start behaving like signals that the whole team can use. And in this session, we are going to talk about those signals. So here's the roadmap. First, we'll look at the QA gap, why traditional testing isn't enough anymore. Then we'll rethink QA as observing, not just executing test. I'll walk you through the Cypress plus Datadog architecture. Then a lifestyle flow of how data moves from your machine to dashboards. After that, we'll see how real user monitors complements QA and how AI powered widgets help detect anomalies, flaky tests, and what real benefits we have seen: faster RCA, fewer escaped bugs, better collaborations. And finally, I'll wrap up with practical takeaways and new QA mindset that you can take back to your teams. So, my goal is very simple. When you walk out, you should be able to say, yes, I know exactly how I can start something like this in my own project. So, first, the QA gap. Why traditional testing isn't enough? So, on your left, you see traditional QA flow. We all know. We design test cases, we automate them, we run them in CI, we get a pass fail report, and then we push to production. But on the right hand side, this is what actually happens in the real world. Real users come in with old browsers, poor networks, weird data, they rage click, they abandon cards, they hit edge cases we never thought of. So sometimes the UI looks green from a test perspective, but users are struggling. So even with 95% automation coverage, we still see bugs found only in production, performance complaints that test never captured, failures that don't clearly tell us is this impacting users or not. So, if this resonates with your day to day life, you are in the right session. So, now let's rethink QA from testing to observing. So, what needs to change? There are three mindsets which has helped us a lot. First, tests should generate signals, not just results. So instead of saying 42 tests passed, I want to know which module is risky, which area is slowing down, which tests are flaky. Second, all data should converge. So test logs, backend logs, browser metrics, user behaviors, they all belong on the same observability layer. Third, quality should be observable. So if you can observe CPU, memory data, so you can also observe durations, fail, pass in Datadog in the same way. So these are the three things that we need a shift change. So that's the core idea. Don't just test, observe, learn, and act or test. So, firstly, I'll tell you the architectural overview of Cypress and Datadog. how we have combined both of these things together, and how we have created this dashboard, which is very quick and easy to understand, and how it changes the testing and testing framework and that we have all created in, and the reports that we have seen so far. So on your left, if you see Cypress test execution, so we have UI test, API test, some module based test cases. So each spec runs in CI with some tags, and it could be any environment tags or test types or modules or features, anything. It could be anything. We run test in a different manners. But at the end of a run, what we do, we push our data to Datadog in the form of metrics and events. I'll show you that how we do that. So I have created a very basic code over here. Let's say we have some API test and UI test, and it could be anything. Right now I'm using Cypress.
So there was a glitch where recording
Yep.
stopped and they're starting again. That's why they requested to pause for a moment.
Okay.
They're just starting it. Yeah.
All
So
right.
is it
So
done?
we have seen the code.
Just a
Yes.
minute. I think it's starting. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's done.
Four hours, 1 hour, or 1 day, 1 week, you can customize it also. So let's say when I say I'm seeing the report for 4 hours, so here it is. It says that these were the status. This test run passed, this one passed, this one passed, and there's a failure also. So it will tell you the execution summary, that okay, after, are we running enough tests, are failures clustered around a particular time or run, did a new deployment suddenly increase failure. So this type of questions we can answer from this widget. Next comes this one, Cypress test run summary for the selected duration. Now it quickly tells you that what passed, what failed, and for what test, for what run. So for a release manager or a lead who has just 30 seconds before a go or no go call, this view is gold. So you can quickly grab the data and say that okay, this is what we have right now for this 4 hours or a month or a week status. Now this one, AI duration anomaly detector. Now let's say we are running our pipelines from so long and everything is running perfectly. Now suppose one day there it was running for around 3 hours, let's say, and suddenly it spiked to 7 hours. What has changed? So this kind of anomaly detector will highlight when there is a spike, or you can say that there is an anomaly, that and it will tell you that okay, what has changed under this. So it's using duration only, it's but we have used an anomaly detectors in Datadog using agile technology only. So here you see that it will show that backend slowdowns, what all slowdowns we have, if there is a network slowness or just a test that started waiting for an extra condition nobody noticed. So these kind of spikes will appear in this AI duration anomaly detector if something has changed in this past 4 hours. Next comes the test run insights. So whatever test has run, it was a time duration that it took 56 seconds, then 1 minute, and then this, and then this, and then this. So it will tell you that uh, our regression suits become slower by month, or our sanity checks staying with their budgeted time. So instead of saying run took 15 minutes. We can say regression test on dev environment has increased 30% in the last week. So what changed? That's the level of conversation we want. Now comes failure trends. Failure trends that in this entire 4 hours, these were the failures that has come. Now it will tell you that uh, the failures are not always bad, because it gives us the information that what has failed, and it will tell us that what needs to look upon. It will highlight your failure cases and create an impact that, okay, I don't have to go anywhere, I can quickly grab the test case and start working on it or start fixing that. Now, the slowest test cases. It's my favorite because they are grouped together, and in one click, I get that these are my 5 test cases which are the slowest in the system. And that gives us a concrete refactoring backlog for QA. So instead of blanket, let's optimize test, the dashboard tells us exactly which test to optimize. And this one, smart QA score per run. Now, this one is really great because so when someone asks, is the quality okay? We don't argue about feelings. We simply show them data. So last 5 runs, QA score was 97, 96, 94, 92. And below that, recent Cypress runs, we have this one. Here it will show you the summary that, okay, these were the runs, and this is the high level data, and this is we generally use it in our audits or release discussions, right? And now these three: test status across application modules, test type breakdown, and test per environment. Now, let's say you want to discuss about, you have multiple modules and you want to see your data according to the module. And if you have test types or tags, for example, you have a sanity test, regression test, or data validation tags. So it will break down your test cases based on your tags. Third is based on environment, like you have staging environment, prod environment, or dev environment. So it will show you the data based on those environment. Now comes the AI flaky test detector. So we all know that what's happening these days. This flaky thing is currently in the market, and it will tell you that, okay, these tests were running fine and suddenly started failing. So those are flaky. Sometimes they are passing, sometimes they are failing. So it will report those types of test cases also here. So you don't have to check every time. You can directly come over here and check for those test cases which are flaky. And now this one, it's very simple that, okay, these are the test cases that failed most of the times. So you can directly go to these ones and check that, okay, these are the most failures test cases. And then it now the details one, latest run test status. Now we are giving the module wise status. So below that, I have kept only the details of all the test cases, that what time it took, whether they passed or not. So these kind of data. Now, so hope you have understood that how we have created this report of pass and fail to this amazing dashboard where you can quickly grab the data and see that what exactly is happening in your application. If something has spiked, something has changed recently, how many runs are there, and what is happening, the high level status that we quickly need just by a glance of view, you can have it with Datadog. Now, real user metrics. So, what did we actually gain from all of this? First, faster root cause analysis, because logs, metrics, test live in the same place. We reduce time to understand from hours to minutes. And then instead of go to Jenkins, then Grafana, and then Slack to see the reports, we just open the Datadog dashboard. Second, fewer escape bugs. So by mapping real user flows to test, we found untested paths and added focused automation there. Third, better collaboration. Dev, QA, and Ops stopped arguing over is it a test issue or an environment issue? Everyone looks at the same dashboard, the same metrics, and same anomalies. And finally, data driven release confidence. We don't have to say, I feel good about this release. We can say, our QA score is 96, duration is normal, anomaly detectors are green, key user journeys are covered and stable. So this is the kind of talk we want at the end of our test. Now, practical takeaways. So if you want to try this in your own setup, here's a single roadmap. So first, push metrics from your test. It could be made from any of the framework, any automation tool. So if you don't use Datadog, the idea is the same. Treat test results as metrics. Start with total test, pass, fail durations of just the basic one. And then tag every test meaningfully. Add tags like environment, types, modules, features, any business dimension that matters to you. So you have seen how powerful categories, these environment tags, test type tags, they become in the table. So when you see the Datadog reports, so these are the minute metrics and events that create this powerful dashboard. So, but what you can do, build one simple dashboard first. So don't try to add all the widgets at one time. Start adding one widget at a time with like basic metrics like duration, test type, tags, only basic widgets, and then try to introduce AI and RUM gradually. So you can introduce AI and RUM widgets also, and add an anomaly widget for duration, one correlation view with RAM. So this kind of widgets you can add once you have understood that how the queries are written, how the Datadog dashboard is created with simple things. So first try with those things and then try to incorporate this AI and RAM gradually. Now, let alerts guide your backlog. So instead of running behind random bugs, let your dashboard tell you that which tests are flaky, which modules are risky, where performance is degrading. So you don't need a massive transformation here. You just need to convert each test into a signal. Now, as I show you that I have a test, I have written the test the way we do, everyone, we do the same kind of a thing. What you have to do is you have to convert those test cases into signals and provide these signals to Datadog. And there you can create how those signals are presented to the world. Now, the new QA mindset. So it means we stop seeing ourselves as people who run test cases and start seeing ourselves as owners of quality signals. A tester in this world doesn't just say, test case 27 failed. They say, cart module has 20% failure spike in the last 3 runs. Anomaly detector confirms duration is also up. And drum shows rage clicks on the same step. That is a complete different level of impact for QA. Now, to wrap up, this approach is not about tools, it's about making QA intelligent and visible. So, synthetic monitoring from Cypress, real user metrics, AI powered observability in Datadog, we get a QA system that observes what's happening, learns from patterns, and adapts our test and priorities. So, my closing message is the same as on the slide. Don't just test, observe, learn, and act. So, what you need to do is the future of QA learns, adapts, and evolves. Thank you so much for listening. I'd love to take questions, and if anyone wants to see the Cypress code or the Datadog, Jason, I'm happy to walk you through it after the session.
So we have a question from Shanmuka Priya. Maybe would you like to unmute and ask directly to the speaker? Priya, are you still around?
Yeah, yes, I'm available. Let me ask
Yeah.
that question. Like, the Datadog is open source, or do we
It's a
have
paid.
pricing for that?
Yeah, it's a paid tool, and this is how it looks. So once you install it, you need to do the configurations to it regarding your project, and you can see everything what is happening. You need to integrate your automation tool with this Datadog, and it's a paid one. It's not free to use. So you need to integrate this Datadog APIs to your automation tool, and then whatever is happening in your automation, it will record it. And the way it accepts the data, as I said, I am sending it the data in the form of metrics and events, and there are multiple ways to send the data. So you can send your rum data, real user metric data as well, and this is where you can create your own widgets in the form of queries. So you need to write some queries like we do in database also. We have a data and we write queries, and we show something. So it's like that only.
Yeah, instead of integrating to automation, we have a different path. Like, we can have a data and we can able to create charts like Power BI also. That is also possible with.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Priya. Can we request Charles to ask the question directly? Unmute yourself, please.
Yes. Hi, Deepika.
Hi.
Nice presentation. In some slide, I think I saw a point of Datadog showing us if we missed test coverage. Is that true? It can detect missed test coverage?
We can, sorry, come again. We can.
There was something about test coverage that we can see if we missed test coverage. Maybe I misunderstood the slide. I forget which one it was.
Okay. This one, real user metrics.
No, it wasn't. Oh, we map test coverage. Yeah, so how do you show test coverage? You have your requirements, which is your source of truth. How is that captured? How do
Yeah.
you get
So
those data points?
yes. So what we do, we have a we have a set of test cases with us, and we define our requirements at the initial stage. That this is let's say for a sprint. Let's say for a sprint, we have these many test cases that we need to cover, and when we start building it, I'm not talking in terms of Datadog. I'm talking in terms of the coverage. So we have at the start of any sprint, we have a backlog of data that these are the test cases that we have. And when we start covering those test cases, and there we create a metrics where we say that this has been covered, and we mark it. So we increase the count that, okay, these are covered from that, because we need to take something as base first. So when base is defined, then when we are running those test cases, we can calculate the coverage. And there we do the coverage calculation and show it in on our Datadog that this is the coverage that we have uh, covered in this entire sprint. But for that, we need a base calculation first, base data first. That, okay, these are the things that we need to cover, and then what are we actually implementing is our final calculation part.
Okay. Do you know, is there an integration with Jira directly where we can get, for example, story information? Is there such a thing? Or is it all coming from our test automation?
No, no, it is linked with Jira right now. This one is not linked to Jira. I have created it for the demo purpose, but the test cases are linked to Jira, and we pick it up from there. Everything is linked. Jira is linked, then our automation framework, and then Circle CI, the CI/CD pipeline that we use, and then this Datadog. So everything is linked. In fact, once this Datadog, once the runs are completed, so it's not only Datadog where we see the highlights, we are presenting the output to all the channels, to the Slack, to the team, to the email, and to the Datadog. So everywhere this type of data is published. So it's not just a pass fail report, it's a graphical reports that we generally publish everywhere.
Okay.
And everything is linked. It's a completely, you can say, and it's a completely automated system from start to end.
Yeah, just to double confirm, so is there a Jira integration directly to Datadog? Or it all
Yep.
there is?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Not here in this project, but we are doing that.
Good,
With
good.
the
She has
tickets
done the
directly.
prototyping just for the demo purpose, Charles. But in the actual implementation, they have the entire connectivity. Jira connects to Datadog, and we get the traceability of all the test cases. So that is possible.
Oh, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Charles. Yeah, we have one more question from Tilotama. If you're
Hello.
around, if you would want to ask. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice presentation, Deepika. I'm an academician, so I wanted to fill the gap for software engineering when we teach the students, engineering students, the test cases. So I found two interesting words: the observe, test, learn. Correct. So I just wanted to know, maybe it's a name question for the industry people, but from the academics point of view for undergrad, do we how do we explain the observe? Is it after the test cases, or
Yes.
is it before test cases you observe some pattern and generate test
Yeah. So
cases? So I had a doubt in that. Thank you.
yes. So when I was saying observe, learn, and act, I was actually indicating this Datadog reports, this dashboard, that when we observe something very quickly, then we learn that, okay, because we earlier we were seeing only pass fail report. Now you are getting those pass fail reports in a different way. So you are seeing that, okay, these are the things which are quickly telling me that, okay, where is the problem? Why my test cases are slowing down? Why this graph is like this? What has happened? Why there is an anomaly detector? Something has happened in the past or in this past 4 hour. Why the time has changed? Why there is a failure trend like this? Why it's fluctuating so much? So this kinds of observability we are talking about. So in Datadog, we are saying that we are observing our data in a different way, and then we are learning that quickly. I would say quickly. We are learning very quickly that, okay, there is something we need to work upon, and where exactly. So we are not wasting our time. We are doing things very fastly, and then we are acting. Means we are so this kind of observability we are talking about with Datadog.
Okay, that's great. Thanks. It's actually giving an insights after the test cases
Are
have been run.
because we are all are running test cases in some way or another, but after that,
Okay.
what type of
After.
conversation and what type of observation we are talking
Yes.
about, that shows
So
the
it's
data.
more like a storytelling on the test cases run.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Deepika, we'll take one more last question, but you can keep the response short. We have a last question from Vikrant, and if it requires a detailed
Sure.
explanation, that can be done offline. Vikrant, over to you.
All right. Sure.
Hi, thanks, Deepika.
Hi.
A nice presentation. I understand
Thank
that
you.
this regression suite would be run with other activities on QA, right? And you are using UUID to track those so that you can observe them Datadog. So I wanted to understand logic, whether you use same UUID for all test cases while running, or it is separate for each test cases. If you can explain that logic quickly, that would help.
Yes. So run UUID is just for a single run, and that run can contain multiple test cases. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So run IDs, these are just runs. Like we do a run, we are running by environment, let's say. So there is a test that I want to run this particular module. So that's a run. And this run can contain multiple test cases inside it. And those multiple test cases we have drilled down here. So these are the multiple test cases. So let's say for this run ID, these were the test cases. So we have drilled down those test cases in a lower view.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deepika. Thank you, Vikrant. I'd like to formally ask Srimai to thank our speaker.
Sure, Harpreet, thank you. Let me, yeah. Thank you so much, Deepika, for your wonderful session. It was very informative. Thank you again.